All right, well, good evening to everybody. This is day number 2 of Severe Weather a Week here at News Channel 6. On the television tonight at 6 o'clock, Garrett James talked about what to do when and after severe weather. Last night, Tanner De Leon had a pretty good piece on 1 year later after Jacksboro was hit by that tornado back in mid-March last year. Tomorrow night is a big night for, I think, a lot of you. I think you're going to want to stay tuned, especially tomorrow night. You want to tune in as we talk about storm anxiety. I asked you about that today, and I'll have that also on social media tomorrow night at this hour. And then don't forget, Friday is the big day where we have our 5th season severe weather presentation. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about tornado season here on this particular YouTube and Facebook Live. I want to talk a little bit about why spring produces tornadoes, the weather pattern that produces it. And then we'll talk about the differences between tornado watches and warnings, and then what to do if a tornado warning or a tornado is headed towards you. You know, a lot of people out there do not understand the difference between tornado watches and warnings, so I'm here to explain that. Particular graphic talks about late fall through the early and middle parts of the spring. The Gulf of Mexico's warm water more easily transports Gulf moisture into the Gulf Coast states, late fall, winter, early spring. So typically this time of year, prime time for severe weather and tornadoes would be East Texas, Southeast Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, then up into Georgia and Florida and over into Tennessee. Now, as we head towards April and into early to the middle parts of May, the jet stream switches back out our way, and those strong storm systems are able to interact with moisture. It's warmer outside. We more easily see that Gulf moisture transported into our area, and then when you get these strong storm systems associated with the strong jet stream that interact with it, that's when we see severe weather here. It does seem to be starting earlier these days, but prime time, traditional late March, April, into the early and middle parts of May, and then by mid to late June, or mid-May into late May and early to the middle parts of June, this is where the weather pattern has seemed to change some over the last couple of years. We've seen the jet stream shift further and further to the north. We transition to more of a summertime-like weather pattern, and that leads typically to tornado season kind of ending in general around mid-May. So that's something that I wonder if I dropped off here. It looks like we've lost a bunch of viewers on here all of a sudden. So if we have, let me know here. But that's what we deal with. So let's go once again here and show a little bit more about tornado season. I'm going to go through that one more time for you. And that way you got it and you'll understand it. So one more time, this time of year, back in the Gulf Coast, because they're closer to the source, the Gulf of Mexico, which is the source for our warm, moist air, tropical-like air. That's why you see tornadoes over along the deep south there in the wintertime, late fall, early spring. The jet stream can interact with that, and you see just more of a severe weather setup over that way. Now, early to April, early to mid-May, jet stream is over us, and you start seeing that Gulf moisture because it's warmer outside. You see more evaporation, and it's easier to get that Gulf moisture up our way. It's warm, it's humid, it leads to an unstable atmosphere. We still have strong storm systems crossing the area during this time, and that can produce severe weather, especially along and ahead of the dry line. That dry line is what separates the warm, moist air from the dry air to the west. So usually along that dry line in our part of the country is where you see the severe storms and then tornadoes. But this is, again, what's changed a bit, or seems to change a bit, is the fact that the jet stream is just shifting further north, and we transition to more of a summer pattern mid to late May. Typically, traditionally speaking, in our part of the world, mid to late May is prime time for tornadoes, but that just hasn't been the case over the last 5 or 6 years. And later on this week, on our fifth season severe weather, presentation on Friday. I do talk to a severe storm research guy from the National Severe Storms Laboratory, and he talks a little bit more about the research, which also kind of suggests that tornado season is ending a little bit sooner our way. So that's something to kind of look forward to. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the conditions. And the differences between tornado watches and warnings. So a watch means conditions are favorable for tornadoes to form with any storm. This means outside it's warm, it's humid, it's windy. Usually the atmosphere is volatile, and that leads for ideal conditions for thunderstorms as they develop to produce tornadoes. So we have to watch out. Tornado watches are like the difference between taco watch and taco warnings. If you've seen the meme out there, taco watch means we got all the ingredients to make tacos, but we don't have a taco yet. But when we our app, the First Alert 6 weather app, there are other sources out there that you can use for this too. Your favorite TV station, whoever it is that you trust the most with your weather information, whether that be me or somebody else, another meteorologist in this market or another meteorologist in another market, go tune there. Usually speaking, will be on wall to wall with severe weather coverage, meaning we're interrupting your programming at that point in time. We're showing you where the storm is. We're showing you where it's going to go, and we're showing you lots of video from storm chasers in the field. So you have a great source of information. You know, when I was a kid, you didn't get all that, and you might get the weatherman on TV, may do a little update here or there, but you didn't have access. The sirens would be going off outside, and you'd be terrified because you didn't know what was going on, and you'd turn to a specific TV station, and the emergency alert system would be broadcasting, and you would get that, or there's a specific TV channel that the weather service broadcasted on, and you could get updates there too. But these days, no excuse. Social media is a great place. I stream all my stuff online. If I'm not on my page, I'll be on the News Channel 6 page. Most TV stations do that. You got lots of those guys out there that also follow this stuff. And again, you have storm spotters in the field that can actually see it now and show it to you live on TV. So it's no longer just a radar image there. We're actually being able to show you what's going on live into the field. So once you know that a tornado is headed towards you, you need to know what to do. Avoid windows and doors, outside walls. The number one tornado safety rule is to put as many walls between you and the outside winds as you possibly can. And that will typically mean the center of your house. You want to make sure you're on the lowest level. You don't want to be upstairs. I've been to tornadoes. When a tornado comes along and it's spinning there, and you got a tornado that's moving through, the winds with the tornado usually lift, and what happens is usually the roof comes off first, and when the roof comes off, that's when the walls of your house begin to fail. And the first thing that's going to go is the upstairs. The second place would be downstairs. And it's going to take, I'll be honest about it, it's going to take a really strong tornado to be able to destroy a home. Fortunately, those are rare. We don't get those often. And the odds of you actually being strong tornado are very, very low. But again, you got to know what to do. Center of your house. Of course, the best place to be is in a storm cellar, below or above ground. Either one is fine. If you don't have that, though, a few questions here from you. If you have a question, now is the time to answer it. And remember, each night this week, I'll be putting stuff here on my Facebook page, and we'll also have a live presentation on Friday night on News Channel 6 from 5 to 6. It should be on Facebook too. If I'm not streaming it on my page, I will record it, and I'll go back and put it on my page so you can get that too. So, and throughout severe weather season, you know, I'll be doing Facebook Lives. I'll be doing updates here, so you'll know who is what to expect. So it's good to have that. So somebody says the stream keeps lagging and keeps pausing. I don't know what's happening. Here I've lost a lot of viewers here on this. So let's start. Well, I'm not going to start over again. We're just going to continue to go what we have. Let's like you.